Welcome to another episode of Funniest Funny Live. Tonight's guests, Charla Burnett, Dominic Cochran, and KT the Creative, and your host, Amaru.
Welcome back to another episode of Funniest Funny Live. This time you see me with all kind of props and everything. That's because, a little oily, a little dirty. I'm going to just tell you the truth. I was going to take a shower before I got here, but what had happened was I didn't. So I got this probably the same shirt for the last show. It be like this sometimes. I'm a little ashy and everything, so I'm going to put some lotion on. I'm keeping 100. We don't have the budget like Bill Maher and everything. I got 4 jobs. Mike got 8, and we're going to have her do something when she finishes. No. Welcome to Funniest Funny Live, and in the hot seat today we got...
Charla.
Burnett. Okay. What do you have interesting for us?
Yeah, I'm the executive director and founder of Umoja House, which is a house for all types of migrants, kind of like a hostel. But we also provide housing assistance for those who cannot pay here in Lansing, Michigan.
Okay. Have you ever stayed in a hostel?
Yes, many hostels. I've been to 37 countries.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
You done the ones in California?
Mostly in San Francisco, in the Tenderloin, and in Santa Barbara.
They are the most interesting. Now I can kind of understand why.
I am like
Moja
I am.
House is, well, that too. It's like if you stay at the right ones, it's like staying at the like a United Nations hotel.
It really is.
Yeah,
it really is, and that's probably why there is usually a UN flag outside of a lot of them, because they're just like, you come here, you are no nationality, you're just gonna let your freak flag fly.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, real quick. One time I stayed at a hostel in LA. It was I think it was near the airport. And I had 2 Russian roommates. They had to be about 18, 19 years old. This was their first time here in the country, and I thought that was intriguing. I'm like, dang. So I'm asking them questions, and they telling me about the little country town that they from, like a little rural area way out. Telling me about their culture, and I was like, have you ever smoked weed? Like, I'm over here corrupting them. they were like, we heard about it. We've never seen it really up close. And I was like, really? Like, I thought it was a crime.
This is California.
This is California. You ain't never. I said, so, hey, when I come back, I'm gonna show you something. And so I brought something back, and they was like, it was like somebody had just gotten out of prison and seen a cell phone after 20 years for the first time. It's amazing to hear and to talk to other people from different cultures and countries, like not hearing it secondhand and just seeing their point of view. It was this cat from the Netherlands. He was white. He was like, you know what makes me laugh about American white people? And I was like, what? He was like, I'm white. Meaning, like, I came from the place that white people come from. Like, I'm white. I thought that was just hilarious. Like, he right. But did you felt safe when you went to those?
Yeah, for the most part, definitely safe. Sometimes annoyed with the noise level, but I mean that's just to be expected when you're sleeping in a room with like 16 other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so yours, what makes yours stand out in regards to the?
Well, for one, you don't share your room. Everybody has their own room. We have 6 rooms, so we keep it really small, and it's across 3 different houses on a city block here in Lansing on the east side, and so I think that provides people with a little bit more comfort. I'm not really sure how people in Lansing would feel about a hostel yet. I still think a lot of Americans are like, you mean that movie where they kill everyone?
Right. Kind of messed it up for everything.
When I was 19 and I decided to go abroad and be the first person in my family to travel, they're like, what, you're staying in a hostel? Like, my dad called me and he's like, don't make me go Liam Neeson, take it on everyone. Like, I will come over there and find someone. And I was like, no, it'll be okay. And I was super nervous the first time. And then I walked in, put my stuff down, went to the common areas, and somebody handed me a beer. And I was like, all right, this is fine.
Yeah, hanging out at the night, going to the little spots.
Yeah.
But initially, was it the movies that gave you the fear at first?
It was the movies.
Yeah.
It was just this weird stigmatization around like being anywhere near people. I don't know if you feel this about kind of this area, but I feel like everybody's scared of everybody.
Yeah.
Like they don't talk to their neighbors. They don't know their neighbors' names. Like they just are really skeptical. Like everybody's up to no good.
That's why in my videos I say check on your neighbors. Mainly to see if they're cooking meth, because that shit can go boom. But
I graduated in Eaton County, so I know all about it.
Right. But literally and meaningfully, I say people, check on your neighbors.
Yeah, for sure. Know their names. If someone screams, like do something about it.
Right.
Like, that's...
what I'm saying? And so I guess we both come from the same era where we knew the neighbors and knew who they was. And I don't know if your family was like mine. You act a fool down the street, you're going to get a whooping when you get home, too. But, yeah, we kind of lost that camaraderie. But I think maybe we might be gravitating towards that again because of COVID and the lockdown. And people were so isolated and yearning and longing for another body, so to speak.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, what really pushed me to open Umoja House was my experience working with refugees.
Okay.
So I didn't realize that Lansing's a relocation site for refugees and has been since the 90s.
Oh.
So we actually have like 20,000 refugees and their family members that live in the mid-Michigan area.
Oh, I thought you were going to say at the Moja House.
Oh, no.
Man,
not even close, and I don't think I could handle that. But
your water pipes is exploding right now.
And after that, I really felt passionate, like I wanted to go work in refugee camps. And so I lived in West Africa and the Middle East, working in camps for several years. And then I came back to do my PhD in Boston, and I started a refugee organization there that helped with organizational capacity building for migrant service providers. And then I found out I had pre-cervical cancer, and I had to choose whether I wanted to have a kid. And I was like, well, I didn't before, but now maybe I do. Right. And so I did. I had a kid, and I was like, well, I have to move back home. And thank goodness I did, because COVID happened, and I don't know what I would have did besides that. But I just felt like my heart was still with them abroad and people.
So like the Peace Corps? Or?
I got into the Peace Corps. I was supposed to go to Cameroon, and instead I took a job with the UN. Okay. And so I worked for the UN, HCR, and UNRWA, which is another refugee organization.
I thought about joining the Peace Corps.
Yeah, no, and you still should. They moved it so you can be any age. It used to have a cutoff date,
okay.
So now there's no age limit. So you can go. It used to be, I think, cutoff age was 40. So now it's like wherever you want. So it's still my goal.
89, you can come on with us. We got you.
Yeah, I think it depends on where you want to go, but yeah, it's open now.
So if someone needed your services, what is the process and how is that?
Yeah, so right now we're in the middle of negotiating with Airbnb to become a nonprofit underneath their organization, which means they waive all of their fees for us. And so that's the goal. Right now we are about 80% people who can pay full price, which was roughly $45 a night, to $800 a month, because we do a reduced discount, and you can stay for a day up to a year depending on your needs. And then whatever goes above and beyond the mortgage, the utilities, because we have a house cleaner that comes every other week, all that goes back into a pool, and then people can apply for housing assistance on our website, which is umoja.house. And so with that, we also collect
on the screen.
right here, Umoja.house.
And that's not with an E, that's a U.
Yeah, U-M-O-J, which is Swahili for unity, which actually came from a friend of mine who served in the Peace Corps, and I was like, what should I name this thing that I'm trying to do? And it was like Umoja, so that's where we got that.
Okay, and so how long have you been
We just started doing this in October, and we didn't open our doors until December. So this
one
is only
or two locations.
We have 3 houses, and I live in one of them with the guests with my son.
Okay, so you like playing Monopoly and everything?
Yeah, I'm like running back and forth between the different houses.
Is there a goal of?
We have our eyes on 2 more houses on the block.
Okay.
One that's directly behind us, who's owned by somebody who's a rental. All the houses that we've purchased, we purchased from people who were renting housing that they owned from out of state.
Gotcha.
And they hadn't been taking care of the houses very well either. And so one thing, and the reason why I kind of haven't talked too much about it and haven't really pushed to have people come and visit is because I wanted to make things look really nice.
Yeah.
Like when people, particularly people who are looking for housing assistance, so we also help not just refugees and asylees, but internally displaced people. So people experiencing domestic violence, LGBTQ youth who've been kicked out of their parents' house, people who've been trafficked, those types of things. And I just wanted them to have a space that was really swanky, where they're like, I can invite my friends over here and like feel good about it, you know?
So you can only come over here on Thursdays.
So I got carpal tunnel in both of my hands painting, but it's been worth it. And so we're now ready, and we're at 87% capacity since we started.
That's what's up. So they wanted to contact you and learn a little bit more about what you do in Umoja House. How can they do that?
Yeah, you can just go to email us at info@umoja.house, or you can call us 517-667-8178. Obviously, I'm not going to pick up the phone if it's like 10 o'clock at night and I'm like sleeping in, you know.
And I'm continuously saying it wrong, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you?
I say Umoja House.
Umoja House.
Yes, Umoja.
Umoja. Yeah.
I'm continuing to mess it up.
It's
I
fine.
promise you.
I did it strategically so that everybody would have to ask 100 times, so then they would build up the memory and they won't forget.
Like she get mad when you say it wrong. Don't say it wrong. Well, yeah. So since your inception, I have been paying attention to it and wanting to, because I like it. I like what it stands for, and I've had that experience of being around different cultures like that, and that way, and the way you describe what it is pretty dope. So I've always wanted to get at you about doing some kind of promotional.
I love it. So we have this wooden map that we hang on one of the walls, and it has these pins that have a flag for every country. And so when we get a new person from a different country in, they get to put their pin on the flag.
That's dope.
And so we've had 5 different countries represented already and just being open for 2 months. And my favorite moment that I thought was most meaningful so far is we had an international scholar from Saudi Arabia sitting at a bonfire across the way from a trans person. And they had this really amazing conversation and was able to hang out and it not be weird.
That's dope.
And those are the type of interactions that I think are so important for Lansing, because particularly after Trump's presidency, there was a lot of xenophobia, anti-migrant sentiment, and we need to get back to where we're just kind of like all finding common ground with one another.
That's right. What if they from Lansing, you put like a pin in the hood or is where I'm from?
Yeah, there's like state ones too.
We welcome you and thank you for what you're doing, and we'll
thank
see
you
again.
for what you do.
No problem.
We appreciate you.
And we will be right back.